Hey guys, Patrice is here once again. This time I'm gonna do a video about aiming since I'm done with the legends. So you've probably seen a lot of videos on this already, and most of them would be talking about training area warm up and maybe something to do with your sensitivity. Plus the all-known mention of landing in a hot zone to practice. Well, as much as all of those things are great, I think it's not good enough. There's a few problems. First, the training area is very limited. You can't try out attachments and the hitboxes in the training area aren't real. It's like you'd be going shooting at Gibraltar all the time. There's no real enemy and the best you're going to get is a slow moving target. As much as you can try and practice some flicking in the training, it won't be that profitable. Second, dropping into hot zones. Yeah, that's a good idea and I used to do that all the time, but there's a lot of downside with this. It's RNG based and you will often die without even finding a weapon or ending up having a Mozambique. And the landing is super long. If you drop down and die immediately, then you have to quit or wait till somebody respawns you, and that will never usually happen. And if you do quit, then you will have to search for a game again and then wait for the character selection and then only drop down and choose a location. All of this ends up to a lot of time when you actually don't even get to fight for that much most of the time. So it's very time consuming and there's hardly any profit from this. Third, the sensitivity. Yes, the weaker your sensitivity is, the easier it is to practice, but in reality most of this is personal preference and you should pick what you are comfortable with. With that said, I do still recommend to have it as low as possible while still being comfortable, since if you have large mousepad it's much easier to aim with lower sensitivity, but that's only my personal opinions. The only way to actually know it is to actually try everything yourself and then seeing what you are most comfortable with. And now moving on to the point of this video, what if I told you there is way better ways of practicing and training your aim? I found out 2 ways that helped me out with my aim, since my aim is terrible. Let's get to my personal favorite. It's Titanfall 2. Wait, before you start judging, just hear me out first. Yes, it does cost £6, but it's nothing to be honest. Like compare it to 1000 coins in Apex, that costs $7.99 and it's way less profitable since you're probably gonna get mostly white and blue skins. Here you can get the entire game Ultimate Edition for £6 something. So here's my reason why Titanfall 2 is amazing to practice your aim. They both made on the same engine and you can customize everything in Titanfall 2 the way you have it in Apex. Make sure to adjust your sensitivity and your keybinds to fit you in Apex 2. Titanfall 2 is way more fast paced and it's a lot harder to hit the target since people can double jump, wall run and all of that fun stuff. So if you get good in Titanfall 2, when you go on Apex everything feels a lot slower, like it's in a slow motion, and hitting enemies in Apex gets so much easier since they have nowhere near same movement speed as in Titanfall 2. It has similar weapons and skills. Since the game is made by Respawn and it's based on Titanfall universe, they have a lot of same weapons. Wingman, R99, R301, Flatline, R45, Craver, Mastiff, Eva 8, Triple Take, Longbow and so on. All of these weapons are very similar. They do have a bit of a different aim and a different hipfire and different recoil, but in general they are very similar and you will get used to them really fast. You can practice with Wingman. It actually feels a lot weaker in Titanfall 2 than it is in Apex, so technically if you get good with it in Titanfall, it'll be easier in Apex 2. From my personal experience, I was really bad with R99 since of the recoil, but after spamming it in Titanfall 2, I became way better with it. Then when I came back and played Apex, R99 was so much easier to play with and land shots with. In general, I would say that if you want to practice your shotgun, then play shotgun in Titanfall 2. And same goes for any other weapons, like the weapon you want to practice Wingman, pick Wingman in Titanfall 2. And it helps you so much out. Like I tried to even play shotgun because I miss a lot of shots in the Apex Legends when I'm flicking with it, but then I played shotgun in Titanfall 2 and came back to Apex and I was like amazingly better. Like I could see how much better I was and my shots were landing. Another thing is abilities. Titanfall 2 has same abilities as Apex Legends. They're different but you feel the similarities. You can even practice the grapple way more efficient than in Apex since you will have 2 hooks and they recharge way faster. I will say they have pretty much the same mechanics as in Apex. Another very important aspect is that it's fun. Instead of playing in a training program, which I will move on to later, Titanfall 2 is actually just a normal game and it's way more fun to actually just play and enjoy whilst you practice. Compared to just dropping into a hot zone in Apex, in Titanfall 2 if you play casual deathmatch, which you most likely will since that's the only mode played right now and the player base is tiny. After death you will spawn back immediately and can straight get into a fight again. So no need to wait 5 minutes till you drop again, pick your character, all that stuff. You get into fight immediately against real players and not just dummy targets. Another good point is that you don't get as burned out. Instead of just playing Apex all day long and getting bored more and more with every day, you can actually mess around a little bit, have some fun in Titanfall 2 or even play campaign, since it's actually very fun. And it will make you a better player compared to if you just play like Minecraft and slowly lose your FPS game grip. There's also the ability for Steam Pilot, which was the leak for the new Octane Legend that might come out. It quickly boosts your speed for a short time and gives you a little heal. But this is probably fake news and I doubt that it will even come out in Apex. But if it does, then you will be ahead since you already practiced it in Titanfall 2. Another good point is that it's very good for warm-up. Instead of just going to training grounds and warming up on massively hitboxing targets, you actually warm up on real players that are way faster than in Apex. So Apex actually feels like a break. You get way more breathing time and you can kinda chill and relax. Personally, I play Titanfall 2 for 3 days now, around 5 hours a day, and every time I go back on Apex it feels a lot slower and it's much easier to hit the targets. I actually ended up getting more kills and more fun games compared to my usual. My aim is way better and I feel way more confident in myself. Before this, I would always spam and play Apex. Like, yes, it did make me a better player since I put a lot of time into it, but my aim was always off. I could position myself correctly and make a perfect flank, but due to my aim I messed it all up in the end, which eventually led me to play way more defensively and less confident. So I would stop pushing when I had to or play defensively when I had to play aggressively and etc. But after playing Titanfall 2, aiming became so much easier that I'm back to how I started. Playing Wraith since her hitbox is tiny and rushing every single fight I hear, which led me to way more fun games and way more kills in total. So personally, I recommend investing £6 to actually become way better player in Apex, but there's two downsides. First is that there's Titans, and usually what I do, I just drop my Titan and let him like play on his own and carry on running around and practicing my aim. Unless I just actually want to like enjoy the game and have fun, then I play Titans too. You can pick a mode that doesn't have Titans in it, but there's not a lot of people playing, so it will take around 5 minutes to find a match. So I wouldn't really recommend this since it's a bit too long. And another downside is that it costs £6 and some people might not afford it, especially the young audience. Well, I'm sorry guys, but this is the best way to practice in my opinion. There is free aim practicing programs like out there in the internet, but they ain't really good enough. And now moving on to the second way, which in my opinion is a bit worse and not fun to play. It's called Kovaak's FPS aim trainer. I'm sure most of you heard about it. It costs around £8 and it's a very good aim training program or game, I don't know what it actually is. I got a mate who was playing Team Fortress competitive and in general is a very good FPS player. He recommended me this and that's the program he uses. As soon as he searches for a match in Apex, in between of those like search gaps, he turns it on and practices his aim. And he does that all the time between of the games. It's an amazing program. People can also make their own servers, adjust their aim and sensitivity exactly like in the game. You can even transfer all this stuff, it copies the exact in-game specs for you. The community builds levels and practice targets all the time, so there's already a lot of Apex practicing servers made that you can use. This is definitely a very efficient in game and it's very useful for practicing any sort of like gameplay. You can practice tracking, you can practice flicking, strafing, mid-air shooting, shooting targets that jump on you or that are below you. There's pretty much everything covered in here. It's an amazing way to train your aim, but it costs around £8, so it's also not free. And the biggest downside for me is that it's boring and it's really get annoying after spamming it every day for an hour or something. So I personally prefer Titanfall 2 to get better specifically in Apex, whilst Kovaak works great for any game, like any FPS shooter that will come in future, so you will pretty much have it there forever. Alright, with this all covered, let's finish up this episode. I hope this episode was useful and provided way more information than just training in a training ground or sensitivity coverage. If you have any better tips, then make sure to comment them down below. Or if you know any paid or free programs that helped you with your aiming, also comment them down below. I will personally try them out since I'm keen on improving. I'm trying to get a camera now so I will be able to live stream. Maybe I do like a Q&A or in general just interact with my viewers. Let me know if that's something you would like to see. Also, don't forget to follow my social medias and my Discord channel. All the links will be down in the description. If you like this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, please man, help me out bro. I see you guys in the next video or in the game. Bye.
Where is you, teammate? Fucking noob. Go raise me, teammate, go raise me.
enemy down. Reload.
Why me? You eating, man! You fucking bitch! EA, yes.
Another enemy down. Contact with target.
Where is you? Where is you? Where is you? Where is you? You fucking lifeline.